It says the story of light, so it definitely feels with the ethereal tone of the singer that it's like very light and airy.
Yeah, I'm very much getting the concept
Yeah.
in each piece of music we've listened to so far. Oh, mama.
So the very first group that you'll be reacting to this year is SHINee, which is a boy group that we've reacted to many times before. SHINee's Lock You Down is a special track released on SHINee's The Story of Light EP3, released in 2018. But this song was recorded actually more than a year ago, so all 5 members are present in this recording.
This song is composed by The Stereotypes and August Rigo.
You ready?
I'm ready. Oh! Sorry. Can we restart?
Wow, that was
That hurt
great.
me. Okay, hold up. How do I fuck? Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all.
3, 2, 1.
So the first thing I noticed is they're sing-talking, but they're harmonizing somehow, even though they're not really like singing.
Oh my gosh. Some weird notes in there.
It's the classical guitar sound in the background that's really doing it. That's awesome.
Has Latin flair.
I love this guy's voice.
Yeah, his voice is nice.
Whoa, I really dig his voice. It's like, it's almost like a weird like sigh thing.
He's a very specific timbre.
Yeah. He just sounds like so relaxed and like natural.
It's interesting, they've gone from like low rap to sort of like mid mellow voices to like very high voices here. So it's like registers are going up.
It's weird to hear Junghyun's voice.
Nice. Oh. What? Wait. What key did we start with, and what key are we in now?
I mean, it's a super like common progression. It's good though, because as opposed to going to, it's like a 2-5-1, but they go to like sort of like this weird super extensions 5, and it's sort of like a flat 2 thing. It's cool.
This guy's falsetto
Yeah,
is just killing it. Oh, new?
There's kind of a cool parallel going on here between like the really floaty voices and like the pretty like active like rhythmic stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's not really like percussive. It's kind of weird. It's like there's not a lot of like ping on the fronts of the percussion stuff, so it's like kind of just like, I don't know, very soft energy, if that makes any sense.
Whoa.
I bet he's the hottie of the group.
Minho?
Just saying.
This is not the same key. Whoa, this section messes with my head.
Every single part of this song has sounded like it could be the bridge.
Wow, yeah.
I think this actually is it now, but I don't really know. There's like not a specific verse structure that keeps coming back.
I guess this is
Everything's
it.
different.
Oh! That's like finger whack worthy.
How can we follow the harmony of light when we don't know the harmonies? Oh, it's D flat. Oh, it goes between 1 and 4. Okay. Okay. I don't know why that took me so long to figure out. It's so vague.
His voice is really wiggly.
Taemin's voice.
See, when they say down, they're actually singing up. They're not descending in pitch, they're raising in pitch,
Cool.
which is interesting.
That is a bizarre song. Oh my gosh.
I thought it was gonna keep going.
I thought so too. It did not seem like it was gonna end there, but then it
But
did.
it kind of makes sense because the beginning, I wasn't expecting that to be
It's
the
to
beginning
start
either.
like it, yeah.
So,
Wait, remember when it started sounding jazzy?
yeah.
That feels like so long ago because
Yeah.
so much happened
Yeah,
since
that
then.
was a lot.
The reason that they might have chosen to go up in pitch when singing down is so it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. And so it feels more like it's a love song rather than I'm gonna drag you down with me.
It doesn't feel like being trapped. It just sort of
Yeah.
feels like being like
Committed.
pursued. Yeah.
There was actually a lot of really wildly different sections in this. I mean, it started with a lot of rap, and then you had like the mellow middle voices, and then it went super high. But then there were also lots of times when the background music cut out and it was just them singing. So it never felt like the background instruments were taking precedence because it changed through the whole song. So it kept you very interested that way.
I forgot where it started, so I don't even know if it's the same key that it started, or if it's a different key from where it started. Because at the beginning, it was all about the piano, and like that weird sound that I haven't heard much in K-pop. It's like a strangely processed piano, and I wasn't even paying attention to the harmonies. And then by the time I started paying attention, it was well into the song, and I don't know what's happening. It goes between A flat and D flat in a weird way.
I don't know, it was like I couldn't really follow too well about like what they were trying to go for. But I really enjoyed the beginning where they had the strumming of the guitar. For some reason, it reminded me of a harp. Bartok 2, for some reason. I kept thinking about Bartok 2. It's a concerto, the violin concerto.
Oh,
You get it,
yeah,
the strumming. I don't know, so for some reason I was just like intrigued because of that. No, anyways. What's his name? Onyu? My goodness, it's always nice to hear his voice. They really aimed for like their fortes and they really pushed it out. And that really, I don't know, I think the rap section?
Yeah.
That was a bit confusing.
It was placed in a spot where there usually would be a rap section, but I don't know if it was necessary in this song.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes along.
It flows.
It just kind of flows.
But like, I don't know, kind of brings us into weird places.
Yeah.
I think it went with it because the whole time it was like
run,
running, talking about running,
run,
and so
yeah.
the beat was persistent. Not a lot of like slowdowns at all. Actually, no slowdowns.
Except for when they just like kind of cut out the background.
Yeah, they did,
sometimes,
but it's still
the
going,
tempo
I
stayed
guess.
the same. Yeah, I thought it was really kind of awesome because there were a lot of different styles, but like as we said, the tempo didn't change at all, so that kind of held it all together. And the most that they really did was they would just like play around with what was going on in the background. So other than there being 5 different people whose voices we heard throughout, it was pretty consistent vocally.
I like how they end with like the not quite rap thing that they like begin with.
Yeah, and I like that they kept going back and forth between the sing-talky rapping parts and then like actually having like a ballady section where like someone's singing like melodically. It was really nice.
And I like how they like seamlessly transitioned that. Like they had like the like rap talking thing and then they like added harmony to that and then they went full into like melody.
Yeah.
And also they had like parts where they were like singing really fast. The 16th, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to this later, I think.
So the next song you'll be reacting to is released on the same album as Lock You Down. Retro is more of a recently composed song, so the lineup is 4 members.
It was composed by the fabulous Swedish jazz team Andreas Oberg, Simon Petrin, Gustav Karlström, and Korean songwriter Deez. Andreas is also the guitar player in the track.
Whoa, cool!
We've seen him play guitar. Yeah, IRL with Umu.
So yeah, this is Retro, originally titled Emotional.
Weird.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, wait, this is so cool. I love these like pauses that they have.
This girl got me feeling all emotional. Let me tell you real quick.
I don't know what they're doing to cut off the sound, but it's really abrupt. So it definitely felt like a hiccup, like it made me shocked at the beginning.
There's times when it's sort of like,
Yeah. Exactly the kind of staccatos my professor tells me not to do.
This is like one of those tunes that would work really well acoustically. Because you just got like a combo guy, like a dude playing Rhodes and like a drum set.
Did we go back to the original key? I think we did.
oh, the bass playing with the voice, and then the weird, it didn't play the root, it played like this weird thing.
I love unnecessary key changes. That's like one of my new favorite things. Just like, we didn't need to go here, but here's a perspective for 1 second.
That's kind of persistent throughout the whole song. Like, it's like there's someone kind of like mumbling in your other ear, like whispering the lyrics while he's singing.
They do the very rhythmic singing thing. That's really cool. They had that but that's sick. That's like very much like a jazz line. So props.
I like the like really soft higher octave.
It says the story of light, So it definitely feels with the ethereal tone of the singer that it's like very light and airy.
Yeah, I'm very much getting the concept
Yeah.
in each piece of music we've listened to so far. Oh, mama. These harms are really good, actually. The pop harmonizations are very good.
Whoa.
We're in the major key, but it's still mixture. So the question is the major chord the mixture, or are the other chords the mixture of the major chord?
They're running.
I think the major is the mixture. Yeah.
And like they like manipulate the words, like they take emotional and they like yeah, like they just like break up the text so that it supports the music more, which is like a very like yeah, like it's almost a choral thing to do. Like you just like chop that freaking word to like add rhythmic impact. I think it's awesome.
I'm so impressed by their vocal agility.
Yeah.
Slightly more traditional coda, but at this point, something more traditional is what the song needs to ground it down. Solid. Oh my god. Mahler.
Is that it?
Wow.
My
Boom, boom, boom. What a time. Like the last three notes, you know they're the tonic notes, but there's so much just sound around them that it just sounds like percussion. It sounds like almost like a bass slapping on the soundboard, which is like an effect actually Mahler did in the 7th Symphony. I like the vagueness of, like when the bass first comes in, it was just a rumble, but there are actual notes in there that I love to pick out once I re-listen to it. No pun intended, pick out. Wow.
I love this song.
What the heck?
Okay, I cannot compare these two songs because I love them both and they're both my favorite songs. I like this group.
Wow. That got me really excited.
Yeah, that was like so
like I actually want
musically interesting.
Yeah, like I actually want to go listen to this group now.
I'm gonna listen to more.
I really liked it. I liked the way the syncopation and the layering of the rhythms really was unexpected, and so it didn't feel like they were trying to lead me forward. It felt like they were trying to...
They laid back very hard.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to surprise me with the rhythm, and I appreciated that.
I feel like jazz is so much about doing things that like other people haven't done yet, and like things that are like that set you apart from other people. That really like is more set apart in like a jazzy way. Like it's like, okay, rhythm, let's make it exciting. Let's use silences. Like what? Who uses silences in pop music? We do.
I'm like just like running through my head, like thinking of everything that happened, everything that I picked up on. And there's so much there that I feel like I'd have to go back and listen to it a lot of times.
Yeah.
To really appreciate, because I get the feeling there's a lot there that like listening the first time you're like, whoa, that sounds really cool, but you don't really know necessarily what it is.
Oh, I think I like this one better.
Yeah, me too.
It felt a little bit... It had a lot more elements, despite the fact that the last song had a lot more parts. I don't know, I feel like this one was just... It developed different ideas better.
It grooved more.
Yeah, that is
too.
true. It grooved very hard.
Yeah, because they were, focusing on rhythm. I think it definitely felt more like I could like get into it and dance to it and feel more like I was with the beat.
I still like retro more. The song makes more sense structurally. Like we were talking about how the rap section kind of feels like a filler. In this song, everything happens. I'm able to justify, say, oh, okay, this is them doing a crazy detour for no reason. But again, that major chord that occurs near the beginning comes back on the bridge. It's almost like the Brahms thing, where like something that seems random at first gets fulfilled later on and expanded on in a later section. And I think that's totally intentional. And again, the outro seems more grounded. There are fewer mixture chords, and I think that's what the song needed to send it home.
Yeah, the rapping was very interesting because how it makes sense. And when you said it was justified, it was just the way the instruments moved, or how clearly they were, I guess, mixed. You can really tell where the instruments are going, so that way you're not confused. I don't know, I felt a little bit confused in the first one, except for maybe just the steady beat. But also like the balance of like how much you have on both sides. Like the first one was just that one rap part, which happens just to be the structure.
Down,
Yeah, and it's like a little bit awkward in comparison to this one, where you would have back and forth from rapping to lyrical passage, to then come back to rapping and then go back to lyrical. So it's like you do go back and forth between those two.
This one was a lot more consistent throughout. Like there wasn't as much change in what was going on musically or anything like that. But I think they made use of their 4 different voices very, very well, because they all have different styles, and you could tell, but they like fit together really, really nicely.
I noticed that what stayed consistent was the kind of overlaying of vocal parts. Like when someone's singing or rapping, there's like some kind of other voice doing it in a different register, and yeah, that was consistent throughout. Hello everyone, I'm Umu and I'm the channel runner of ReacttotheK. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're curious about the videos that we'll be reacting to in the future, I put a link to a doc with our release schedule in the description. Last but not least, if you'd like to support our channel, you can help us out by pledging any amount you would like on our Patreon. On Patreon, you can get access to full unedited pair reaction playlists, reactions to Japanese releases, and much more. And of course, a huge shout out and thank you to our superstar patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Bye!